Hello and welcome, patrons. So today I have a short practice for you that focuses on mobility and also strength, and just kind of, I don't know, sweeping out the cobwebs, getting the gunk out in the shoulders and upper body area. So kind of rib cage, middle, upper back, shoulders. It's a short practice, so let's go ahead and get started. So for this practice, you will want to have, if possible, a bolster, a blanket, a chair, a belt, and two blocks. If you don't have all of that, no worries. Just make do with what you've got. But we are going to start with a horizontal bolster Supta Baddha Konasana. So for this pose, I have a bolster horizontal ways. If you don't have a bolster, you could roll up a few blankets. I like to have a blanket for my head. And then we'll start sitting up on the bolster with the feet together and knees apart. Slide your butt back down towards those heels. Don't have that bolster right in the lower back. So we want it hitting more the middle to upper back region, kind of rib cage, shoulder blade area. And then I think it feels good to have a blanket behind the head so the back of the neck doesn't get shortened. If it bothers you to have the head back like this, you could even turn that bolster, make it vertical, or take a second bolster behind your head or add an additional blanket. So arms are out to the side, palms are up. Now we're not going to be here a super duper long time, but obviously if this is feeling really wonderful and useful and bringing you relaxation and spaciousness, you can stay for several minutes if that feels good on your body. So we're just going to go for smooth, soft breaths here in and out the nose. See if you can just let yourself sort of drape over that bolster. So soften the belly, let the legs release down. Go for smooth, soft breath in and out the nose. And you can either close your eyes or keep your eyes softly open. A little bit longer here. Really let the hands and the wrists and the facial muscles, facial features, jaw, root of the tongue, just let that be relaxed and passive. All right, now exhale on the inhale, open your eyes. Use your hands to push down on the bolster, lift your chest to sit up. All right, let's put the bolster off to the side. We're going to do a little work raising the arms overhead to work on extension in the arms and shoulders. So you'll want to have room to reach overhead. If you have a thin blanket or sticky mat, take that, roll it up just a little bit to just make a little bit of a roll. And then that roll is going to go under the bottom part of your shoulder blades. Knees are bent. So again, have room to reach your arms overhead. I'm probably a little bit over exaggerating the space I need, but I'm fairly long armed, so I want to give myself space. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Position that roll at that bottom tip of the shoulder blades. Now, raise your arms up, spread your palms, spread your fingers. Have your palms facing your knees. And then as you take your arms overhead, rather than letting your ribs sort of fly open and going with this back bendy shape that the blanket is giving you, you're going to exhale and draw those ribs down so that your abdominal muscles engage and your low back lengthens. And then you're forced to get a true extension in those shoulders. So rather than the movement being from the ribs, inhale, exhale, bottom ribs down. And then slowly, don't forget to breathe, reach those arms overhead. Can you get those arms to move at the same time? And now you might feel that your shoulders are actually a little bit challenged and those armpits start to open, but we're not just flinging the ribs open. We're getting some mobility and extension in our shoulders. And then let's come back and let's do that 2 more times. Again, any of this, if you need to spend more time and repeat, 5, 6, 7, 10 times, totally fine. Don't forget to keep that breath moving. So there's a little bit of abdominal work here. We're knitting those ribs down. Let's do one more. Navel to spine, low back spreads, contain those bottom ribs as you take those arms overhead. And then inhale, let's bring those arms down, exhale, bring them all the way down. All right, let's just take that blanket, slide it back up for our head. It's kind of nice to have a little padding for the head. And now we're going to take an active Supta Baddha Konasana. So you're going to reach down underneath your ankles. If you're not able to hold the ankles, you can take a strap, a belt, put the soles of your feet together, and then outer edges of the feet on the floor, tuck those shoulders in, press the soles of the feet, especially press the outer edge of the foot more than the inner edge of the foot. And of course, don't forget to breathe. So you'll feel some work in the hips here. Also roll those shoulders from inside out, just like you would in a shoulder stand. So we get a nice opening on the chest. The inner borders of the shoulder blades come into the back. A couple more breath cycles here. So there's a little bit of a back bendy quality here to this pose. Totally fine. Totally fine. Don't overdo the low back, but totally fine. All right, let's go ahead and release now. Let's take the arms out to the side at shoulder height, turn the palms up, spread from the center chest out to the fingertips, open your palms, open your fingers, and then turn those hands to face down. And let's just get those legs extended nice and straight here for a moment. So you can take those legs up 90 degrees, open the soles of the feet, maybe even point and flex the feet a little bit. Just get the soles of the feet to open, tighten the knees, open the backs of the legs. All right, now let's bend the knees. Let those thighs fall towards the chest. We're going to do a supine twist here. Pin your left shoulder down. Keep your legs together without hardening your inner groins. Keep that left shoulder down and take the legs over to the right. And let's just hover the legs to the right. Legs together, hover, breathe. Keep your face up to the ceiling. And then exhale, left side waist down. Bring the legs back to center. Right shoulder down, legs over to the left, hold. Try to pin more and more of that left shoulder on the floor as you hover the legs to the right. This is a little bit abdominal, and we're also getting some movement in the shoulders and shoulder blade area. Exhale, right side waist down, come back to center. All right, let's repeat that. Left shoulder down, legs up and over to the right, hold, pin that left shoulder down. Exhale, left side waist down, right shoulder down, legs up and over to the left, and hold. Pin that right shoulder down, hover the legs to the left. All right, right side waist down, bring the legs back to center. Option to straighten your legs out. So if you're up for a little more abdominal challenge, shoulder challenge, you can keep the legs straight. Otherwise, repeat. We're doing just once more. You can repeat with the legs bent. Pin that left shoulder down, zip the legs together, legs up and over to the right, as if you're going to put your feet on that right hand. So the legs go up and over to the right. Exhale, roll the belly over to the left, bring the legs back, right shoulder down, legs up and over to the left, up and over, right shoulder down. Exhale, bring them on down. Okay, one passive twist now. Just let those legs bend. Let's take the legs over to the right. Just let them fall to the floor. You don't have to hold them in any special position. Simply let the legs bend and fall to the right. Let gravity take over. Turn your left palm up so you can get an opening on that left chest. If it feels good to you, take your right hand, put it on that left thigh. Give those legs a little weight. So let the legs fall to the right, lower body to the right, upper body to the left. Keep the jaw and face soft. Exhale, inhale, bring those legs up, and then legs up and over to the left. Let's turn put the back of the right hand on the floor, turn that right palm up. See if you can get more of that right shoulder on the floor. So lower body goes to the left, upper body to the right. Jaw soft, root of the tongue soft. All right. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring those legs back to center. And then you can either roll to the side or do a little rock and roll to sit on up. Okay, next we're going to do a pose sitting in the chair. I have a backless yoga chair, but if you don't have one of these, I think you could use just a folding chair or a dining room chair. You can find something that will work. I'm going to put a blanket on the seat of the chair. So, one thing to note is if you're a little bit longer legged, when you sit, you don't want the knees up above the hips, right? So we want those knees kind of at or below the line of the hip. So if you need to raise the height of the chair a little bit, go ahead and do that. And then let's sit sideways to the chair. So whatever kind of chair you're using, let's have the back rest to the right side. And then check for a moment that your feet are parallel. Outer edges of the feet are facing straight forward. And let's have a little space between those legs. Actually, let's go ahead and take a block if you have one and pop that block in between your knees, just as a reminder to keep this nice hip width parallel distance between the legs. Now you're not squeezing the blocks with the inner thighs, you're just gently holding that block with the outer legs. Inhale, raise those arms up, tighten the elbows, lift up without arching your back, lift straight up, anchor your left hip down, turn to the right, and come back to center. Anchor that left hip down, navel to spine, upper back into the body, tighten the elbows, chin level, eyes level, anchor the left hip down, exhale, turn to the right. And back to center. One more time. This time we're going to take those hands down, lift up, anchor that left hip down, turn to the right, take your hands down, anchor that left hip down, lift the chest, inhale to lift, exhale, turn to the right. So press that left hand into the backrest of the chair, gently pull with the right hand. Don't overdo the arms though. So we want this movement to be coming from the torso. The hands and arms are assisting. Couple more breath cycles here. Keep that navel gently drawing to the spine so you don't overdo the arch in the back. And let your head follow the movement of the spine. All right, exhale to come on out. Let's go ahead and change sides. You're going to get a back view of me here. Hopefully you can tolerate that. So you'll turn around, place the block, see that the outer edges of the feet are parallel, soles of the feet are spread. Inhale, raise those arms up, tighten the elbows, reach up, anchor the right hip down, turn to the left. Exhale, come on back to center. Inhale, reach up, anchor that right hip down, turn to the left. You might feel those muscles around your ribs working. Back to center. One more time, tighten the elbows, reach those arms up to make space between the ribs, anchor that right hip down, turn to the left. Take your hands down, anchor that right hip down. Inhale to lift the chest vertically, exhale to turn any amount. Let's stay with that pattern for a few breath cycles. So inhale to lift, exhale to turn to the left any amount. From the right outer knee to the outer hip, resist back to anchor your low body. I'll repeat that. From the right outer knee to the outer hip, resist back to anchor your low body. All right, exhale, come on out. Let's put the block off to the side. We're going to do just a couple of poses standing up now for these shoulders. Stand in Tadasana. Take your feet together, legs all the way together, or legs can be hip width, but have the feet parallel. Let's take Urdhva Baddha Angulyasana. Interlace the fingers. Turn the palms away. Inhale, reach those arms up. Tighten the elbows, outer hips in. Open your palms evenly to the ceiling. Reach up. Even reach back. See if you can get the upper arms behind the ears. Keep the breath circulating. Inhale, exhale. I may need to step away from the wall here. Take those arms down as if you're moving in water. Slowly take the arms down as you lift up through the side waist and the armpit chest. All right, interlace your hands without thinking about it. Take the other index finger on top. I call this the odd grip. It's like holding somebody else's hand. Turn those palms away. Inhale, reach the arms up. Tighten the elbows. Make space between those side ribs. Take those upper arms slightly back. Keep reaching up as you take the arms down slowly. All right. Garudasana arms. So let's take the arms out to the side. You're just going to swing, taking the right arm underneath. 1, 2, 3. Bend up that top arm. Have it perpendicular to the floor. Bend up the bottom arm. If you can intertwine the hands, do it. Now, don't let your arms rest on your chest. Have the upper arms parallel to the floor, reach the fingertips up to the ceiling, and then exhale, draw those shoulders down. You may get a really lovely spreading sensation here across that shoulder blade area. I'm feeling that. It feels really good. Now, if you want to add the legs, the leg that's on the arm that's on the bottom, that leg is on top. So you'll bend the legs, take that right leg over, cross the thighs, and complete your Garudasana. Or you can just work on the shoulders. Couple breath cycles here. All right, let's change sides. Take the arms out to the side. Let's swing the left arm underneath. 1, 2, 3. Intertwine those arms, reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. Draw those upper arms down without letting them rest on the chest. Bend your legs. This time you'll take the left leg on top if you're adding the legs in to complete your Garudasana. Now see that the abdomen doesn't spill out here. There's just a gentle drawing of the navel to spine to spread and widen the low back to create spaciousness in the low back. Keep the gaze steady, but not hard, smooth, soft breathing. All right, good. Let's go ahead and come out. Stand in Tadasana, reach those arms down, lift the chest. Okay, we're going to come back to a seated pose. Let's have a blanket handy or a bolster. We're going to take Bharadvajasana to the right. So sit in Dandasana staff pose. Reach down with the heels of the hands, open the soles of the feet, cut those back ribs in and up. Now sweep the legs to the left, bend the right leg, bend the left leg, let that left ankle rest on the instep of the right foot. If you find that your left hip is much higher than the right, go ahead and take a blanket, block, or bolster, pop it underneath that right butt cheek. Keep that left hip anchored down. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, turn to the right. Now, you can stay here if this is your yogic maximum today, or you can swing that right arm around, grab that left arm, and then turn to the right. Left palm faces up. Inhale to lift, exhale to turn to the right. Without sinking or shrinking, come back to center, and let's change over. Let's take those legs forward. Bend the left leg, bend the right ankle rests on the instep of the left foot, so legs are to the right. Pop that support underneath the left butt cheek if you're using it. Inhale, reach the arms up, anchor that right hip down without leaning, turn to the left. If you're adding the arms, that right arm swings around, the left arm swings around, grabs the right upper arm, and then you turn to the left, draw that left shoulder back from the center chest to that left head of the shoulder spread. Inhale to lift, exhale to turn. All right, without sinking or shrinking, come on out. Okay, now we could continue on with the twist. I would actually like to take this though today into a brick Paryankasana. So go ahead and for those more intermediate students, you can have a brick on the high and wide way, and then another brick for the head, and I'll show you what you're going to do. And then I'm going to give an option for folks who are a little bit newer to yoga or who are feeling more limited today in terms of their range of motion, which happens to us all on any given day, right? So folks who can, you're going to sit in Virasana. So knees together, feet apart, and then you'll recline back. Now we want to have this block for that shoulder blade area. So kind of bra line vertebrae, if that makes sense to you. And then the other block for the head. Let your roots to your thighs, let your bottom sink down as much as possible. And you may need to adjust those arms. So I'm tucking my arms from inside out. I'm tucking my shoulder blades onto the back. And then arms out to the sides, palms up. And just let the brick do its work. So you're getting a nice drawing in here, moving in of the thoracic spine, the upper back, in order to support the opening of the chest. And smooth, soft breaths in and out the nose. You may be able to access a little bit more of that breath in the upper chest region. Now, if this doesn't work for you today, another option to get a similar effect is you just take that block medium height, the other block for the head, whatever height works for you with the block for the head. And then with the legs, you can extend your legs out straight. So again, we want to get that bottom edge of the block kind of on the bottom part of the shoulder blade. So the block is teaching those shoulder blades to go in. And you can have those legs extended out straight. Or if you'd prefer to cross the legs in Swastikasana, that works as well. So let those blocks be a teacher to you. Let your muscles, your flesh, drape over the blocks, receive the message of the blocks. Now you can stay here for as long as serves you to come up. Make sure to keep that lift in the chest to come up. And then we're going to do a face down Shavasana today. So for our Shavasana, you're going to take a bolster lengthwise. So we're kind of doing the opposite of what we just did. We just did more of a back bendy action. Now I'd like you to get that shoulder blade area to spread. So you're going to lie down face down on that bolster. Have a block for your forehead. Let the legs relax, be on the tops of the feet. And then arms to the side, palms down. And just let yourself sink in. Let that skin, that flesh around that middle upper back spread and widen and drape. Relax your abdomen, let go completely. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Just let it all come to a rest. All right, we're keeping it to a short practice today. I hope that serves you and maybe inspires you to even embellish and continue on with this practice sequence to explore the actions, the stability, the strength, the mobility in your shoulders and upper back. Thanks for tuning in.